My f22 boyfriend, m20, did something while I was sleeping and I dunno what I should do. My boyfriend and I have been together for over a year, and we are living with each other. We have had a pretty open sex life with each other, and I am always down to try something new. That being said, earlier in the year when we had first moved in together, we wouldn't see each other too often because we were working slightly different schedules. Sometimes when he would wake up in the morning he would have sex with me. This happened 3 times I believe until we had a conversation about it. I was awake for the tail end or maybe even the beginning, but super groggy and not awake enough to even really understand what was happening. Basically at this point it feels like it could have been a dream. Although I know it wasn't because we talked about it during the day. I told him I was okay with him doing this as long as we have a conversation before I go to sleep so I at least understand what's happening. He said okay and that he probably just wouldn't do it again because he didn't feel right about it. Anyways, I felt weird about it still after, but we moved on. Fast forward a couple weeks ago and it happened again. This one especially hurt because we went through a dry spell of no intimacy for days because he refused to initiate anything with me. Then one night I'm waking up to him on top of me. I sighed of me. I've been thinking about it a lot and I have no one to talk to. There's many things I can't understand. Why would be he just initiate something during the day after I cried and pleaded for him to give me intimacy? Why would he say he finds it weird and then do it again without doing what we agreed on? Please someone just give me insights on if this is behavior that could turn more inappropriate in the future and whether this is grounds to leave. TLDR, my boyfriend had intimacy with me while I was sleeping multiple times and I'm not sure what to do. The solution is pretty simple. Move out. Never talk to him again. He has decided it is okay to rape you. And obviously it isn't. This isn't normal. You didn't give consent. In fact, you've even talked about how inappropriate it is. If you stay, it will keep happening. And when he gets bored with it, he could easily escalate to some other crime. Get out. My ex raped me like this too. Get out and run far, far away from him. This is not a relationship. This is not love. Your boyfriend is point blank a rapist who clearly doesn't care about you or what consent is. He's getting off on this. Trust me. I'm so sorry this has happened to you. Please speak to a therapist about this. This isn't normal or acceptable behavior. I'm 31 now and only just processing all the trauma my ex also put me through. It's tough. Let me correct you. He would wake up in the morning and have sex with rape me. Having sex is an act involving 2 consenting parties. You did not consent. This was rape. Notice how once you mentioned having a conversation to give consent, he was suddenly no longer interested in it anymore? You told him to talk to you about it beforehand. He disregarded that and forced you into having sex again. That's rape. Trust me. This is just the beginning. Break up and run. Bro's straight up raping you. A redder flag I've never seen. This is called sexual assault. He did not have consent. Why would be he just initiate something during the day after I cried and pleaded for him to give me intimacy? He cares about his pleasure and comfort. You're a second thought. He has sex on his whims. He doesn't care about compromising or explaining himself to you. Why would he say he finds it weird? He lied because his actions constitute sexual assault, which he knows, while you don't. He lied so that you don't look too closely at what he did and find out exactly how horrid it is. And then do it again without doing what we agreed on. He may enjoy doing it without your consent. That's a dark fetish for some people. It's non-consensual power play, rape, without the violence. He clearly is confident that your forgiveness is always an apology away. I don't know how else to put it, other than, This guy would slit your throat in your sleep if he could get off to it. Stay with him at your own peril. He has no concept of consequences, morals, or integrity. He's dangerous. Your boyfriend didn't have intimacy with you. He didn't have sex with you. He raped you. Do you understand that? He's a rapist. That's why he refuses to initiate sex when you're awake. It's why he turns you down. Because he wants to rape you instead. You've already told him you don't consent unless you have a conversation the night prior. He didn't have the conversation. He proceeded to rape you regardless. You feel this way, confused, hurt, everything else, because you have been repeatedly raped. Please leave this man immediately for your own safety. It will not get better. He will not change. He will continue to rape you as long as he can get away with it. This is rape. Your boyfriend a rapist. You should break up with him before he rapes you again. I'm sorry this happened. Op. Please don't stay with this creep. The reason he said he probably wouldn't do it again is because it's not as sexy to him with consent. Which is why he assaulted you again after convincing you he wouldn't. This dude is a predator and you should not convince yourself that this is okay. This is sexual assault. Also, at the end of the day, you set a boundary and he ignored it. That is grounds to end any relationship. That's rape. I hope you find better and he gets help. Yeah, my ex got off on raping me in my sleep, too. Hence why he's my ex. You need to leave. You're his victim and he'll continue to rape you while you're unconscious no matter how much talking you do. So he raped you. I'm so sorry, Op. This is terrible. Please leave. If there is one thing that should always be an instant deal breaker, it's sexual assault. Some men rape women that they could have willing sex with because they enjoy the part that is strictly rape, not sex. The part when they take control away and degrade the woman that turns them on. Not just the act itself. So if he had sex with you when you asked, that would not fulfill that need to force you to violate you. Please get out and be safe. He is a very bad person. Do not stay with him. This will turn into violence in the future. You have voiced you didn't want to have sex with him without prior consent and he disregarded it. If he is okay doing it to you, he will be okay doing it to others, so report his ass. Or get somewhere safe, break up and block him on everything. This is sexual abuse. He won't be intimate with you for extended periods. You beg, he continues to deny, and you wake up with him on you doing something you have expressed you don't like. Please opt for your own safety, break it off in whatever way is best for you. I know it sounds tough, but it's worth not being in a lifetime of discomfort. You set boundaries and he broke them. Run. This is rape. You did not give consent and prior conversations alluded to by default that without the prior consent you are not okay with this. He shut down and avoided you while you were awake and fully aware of your surroundings, emotions and actions. Pack up your essential items the first time he isn't there and then pack up whatever else you can. And you go stay with a friend or family member. Once you are there, you only go back to get the rest of your things when you have someone else with you. Don't give him an opportunity to lash out at you or physically put hands on you. This guy broke your trust and it is so much worse than cheating. And no matter what you do, don't tell him where you're going and tell friends, family to block him. Up to you to tell anyone your story of what happened. When you do talk to friends and family, it will be natural to feel embarrassed and ashamed and angry. But please don't hold back. Talk it out. I don't like this at all. I'm NGL. As a girl, my mind would be racing. Bottom line though is, there is someone out there who will 100% without a doubt treat you better than that. If I were you, I'd be worried about him liking dead people. Only because if you cried to him and he still did it totally blatant, It seems impulsive. Scary thought though. I'd leave him RN and tell someone you trust. You never truly know somebody. Be careful. Less than 3. Run. Don't walk. This guy is a sociopath. Who would do this once? Let alone 4 times. He really doesn't care about anyone but himself. Find yourself another living situation as fast as you can. He's all about getting what he wants, regardless of your feelings. I wish you peace and hope that you can get past this. I am so sorry this is happening to you. Speaking from experience, it will only get worse and potentially more violent. I agree with other comments that yes, you should leave. However, you mentioned not having anyone to talk to about this. What does your support system look like? Do you have anyone, friends, family nearby that you trust? Leaving an abuser is hard even with a support system, especially when your housing situation may be implicated. If you can safely get away and want to do so quickly, by all means. I'm not trying to say you should stay out of fear. My point is that it could be dangerous and you'll want an exit plan. Secure any passwords to all accounts of yours he has access to. Banking, social media, all of it. If you have a joint bank account, move your money to your personal account and change your password. Is your name on the lease? Who pays for what? Would you be able to find and afford new housing should you need to? Can you stay with a trusted friend? Would your landlord let you out of the lease under these circumstances? You've talked to him about this multiple times with no change in his behavior. I do not see any benefit in having more conversations about this, especially if you mention the potential end of your relationship. In my experience, the conversation always goes poorly and once has ended in violence. He sounds like the type where any kind of conversation you try to have with him about this will only upset him, and he may retaliate or escalate his behavior. Your gut is telling you this is wrong, and you took a big step by seeking advice. You deserve so much better. Feeling safe in a relationship shouldn't be up for debate. He doesn't care about you or your boundaries or your safety. He gets off on abusing you. Please leave as safely as you can. Look up domestic violence shelters or women's shelters. And make sure you delete your search history if he has access to your phone. Change that passcode. 2. My thoughts are with you. Black heart. He doesn't want intimacy. He wants exert dominance, force and control over you when you can't consent. He is raping you and he is enjoying it. My abusive ex used to do this. It does not get better. You are in danger. If you can, please get out as soon as possible. Gather your important documents and valuable possessions. Freeze your credit and joint finances if you have any. And get out of there. Try to stay with someone who can keep you safe, be it a relative or a DV shelter. Please do your best to look after yourself and leave if it is safe for you to do so. He doesn't respect your body or your boundaries. This is just rape.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.